Today, we're going to learn how to make simple plans in Spanish, the kind of Spanish you actually use when you want to meet a friend, go somewhere, watch a movie, or figure out what time works. Very practical, very social, very useful. By the end, you'll be able to say things like, "Let's meet tomorrow, what time is good for you? I can go at 6, and see you there." The big idea is this. In Spanish, making plans often uses a small group of super useful verbs. The stars of today's lesson are quedar, ir, venir, and ver. Quedar is a very common verb for arranging to meet. Ir is to go, venir is to come, ver is to see. And in social situations, it often appears in nos vemos. Literally, we see each other. But naturally, it means see you. Let's start with the all-star, quedar. If you want to arrange to meet someone, Spanish often uses quedar. So quedar can feel like to meet up, to arrange to meet, or to get together, depending on the context. Listen, quedamos mañana. That means we're meeting tomorrow, or let's meet tomorrow. Nice and compact. How do you say, "Do you want to meet tomorrow?" in Spanish? ¿Quieres quedar mañana? ¿Quieres quedar mañana? That's a great phrase to keep in your pocket. ¿Quieres quedar mañana? Want to meet tomorrow? Now, a quick memory tip. Quedar is not exactly the same as the English verb meet in every situation. Think of quedar as setting the plan. If English says, "let's meet," Spanish very often says, "quedamos." So if you imagine quedar as lock in a meetup, it becomes easier to remember. You'll also hear, "Quedamos el viernes?" Shall we meet on Friday? And notice that with days of the week, Spanish often uses el lunes, el martes, el viernes. But today we're not doing a dry calendar list. We're using those words inside real plans. For example, quedamos el sábado por la tarde. Let's meet Saturday in the afternoon. Por la tarde means in the afternoon or in the evening, depending on the situation. Spanish divides the day a little differently than English sometimes, so don't fight it. Just absorb the chunk. Por la mañana, por la tarde, por la noche. Now let's make plans more naturally. Usually after the invitation comes the time question. How do you say, "What time works for you?" in Spanish? ¿Qué hora te va bien? ¿Qué hora te va bien? Excellent. ¿Qué hora te va bien is one of those phrases that sounds so natural. Literally, what time goes well for you? But just think, what time works for you? You can also say, ¿Te va bien a las 5? Does 5 work for you? Te va bien is a very useful chunk. If it helps, think of it like, fits you well. Time is not just a number now. Time is a shirt, and you're checking if it fits. A little weird? Yes. Memorable? Also yes. How do you say "I can go at 6" in Spanish? ¿Puedo ir a las 6? Puedo ir a las 6. Good. Puedo ir a las 6. I can go at 6. Notice a tiny pattern. A las 6, a las 8, a la 1. Usually for clock times, use a plus the article, a las 3, at 3. But at 1, it's a la 1, singular. Just a small useful detail. Now let's bring in ir and venir. In English, we often say come and go pretty flexibly, but Spanish cares more about direction. Ir is go, away from where the speaker is mentally placing things. Venir is come, toward where the speaker is. If your friend says ven a mi casa, that means come to my house. If you say voy al café, that means I'm going to the cafe. How do you say "Are you coming with us" in Spanish? ¿Vienes con nosotros? ¿Vienes con nosotros? And if you want to answer positively, sí, voy. Yes, I'm going. Or sí, voy con ustedes in some varieties. But for today, we'll keep it simple and natural. How do you say "I'm going with a friend" in Spanish? Voy con un amigo. Voy con un amigo. Nice. Voy con un amigo. I'm going with a friend. That little con phrase is handy. Con amigos, with friends. Con mi hermana, with my sister. Con Ana, with Anna. Now another key verb, ver, to see. In plan making, it often appears as nos vemos. Literally, we see each other. Naturally, see you. How do you say see you there in Spanish? Nos vemos allí. Nos vemos allí. Perfect. Nos vemos allí. You can also say nos vemos mañana. See you tomorrow. Or nos vemos luego. See you later. A quick side note. Allí means there. You may also hear ahí or allá. At this level, don't stress too much. Allí works great for many situations. And nos vemos allí is a very useful phrase. Let's build a real mini conversation. ¿Quieres quedar mañana? Do you want to meet tomorrow? Sí, claro. Yes, of course. ¿Qué hora te va bien? What time works for you? Puedo ir a las 6. I can go at 6. Perfecto. Nos vemos allí. Perfect. See you there. Simple, smooth, useful. Now let's add ver in another common social phrase. Ver una película. To watch a movie. In Spanish, ver is both see and watch in many cases. How do you say, do you want to see a movie on Friday? In Spanish. ¿Quieres ver una película el viernes? ¿Quieres ver una película el viernes? Great. ¿Quieres ver una película el viernes? And if you want to make it more specific, maybe, ¿quieres ir al cine el viernes? Do you want to go to the movie theater on Friday? Nice and practical. How do you say, let's meet at the cafe at 5 in Spanish? Quedamos en el café a las 5. Quedamos en el café a las 5. Very good. Quedamos en el café a las 5. Notice en el café, at the cafe. If you're meeting at someone's house, en mi casa. At the park, en el parque. Spanish loves these little place chunks. Now here's a small but important social phrase. No puedo. I can't. This one saves lives, social lives specifically. If someone invites you, you can say, lo siento, no puedo. Sorry, I can't. Or, no puedo mañana, pero puedo el sábado. I can't tomorrow, but I can on Saturday. How do you say I can't tomorrow, but I can on Saturday in Spanish? No puedo mañana, pero puedo el sábado. No puedo mañana, pero puedo el sábado. Excellent. That's real-life language. Now let's talk about common mistakes learners make. First mistake, using ir when Spanish wants quedar. English speakers often think, I want to meet my friend, so maybe voy con mi amigo means I'm meeting my friend. But voy con mi amigo really means I'm going with my friend. If you're talking about arranging the meetup itself, quedar is usually better. ¿Quieres quedar? Not ¿quieres ir? Unless you specifically mean go somewhere. Second mistake, forgetting the little time phrase a las. Not seis, say a las seis, not ocho, a las ocho. Tiny words, big difference. Third mistake, mixing venir and ir. If your friend says come to my house, that's ven a mi casa. If you say I'm going to your house, that's voy a tu casa. Come toward, go away. That mental arrow helps. Fourth mistake, translating too literally from English. English says meet me. Spanish often says queda conmigo or quedamos, depending on the situation. Don't wrestle every word into a one-to-one match. Learn the whole chunk. Now let's make this even more automatic. I'll say it in English, you think it in Spanish. How do you say, do you want to come, in Spanish? ¿Quieres venir? ¿Quieres venir? How do you say, what time works for you on Sunday, in Spanish? ¿Qué hora te va bien el domingo? ¿Qué hora te va bien el domingo? How do you say I can go in the afternoon in Spanish? Puedo ir por la tarde. Puedo ir por la tarde. How do you say shall we meet on Tuesday in Spanish? ¿Quedamos el martes? ¿Quedamos el martes? How do you say see you tomorrow in Spanish? Nos vemos mañana. Nos vemos mañana. Beautiful. You're building the rhythm now. Let's hear a short story in Spanish. Just listen first. El jueves, Marta escribe a Pablo. Le dice, ¿quieres quedar mañana por la tarde? Pablo responde, sí, claro. ¿Qué hora te va bien? Marta contesta, puedo ir a las 6. Quedamos en el café de la plaza. Pablo dice, perfecto, nos vemos allí. Now the same story, one sentence at a time. El jueves, Marta escribe a Pablo. On Thursday, Marta writes to Pablo. Le dice, ¿quieres quedar mañana por la tarde? She says to him, do you want to meet tomorrow in the afternoon? Pablo responde, sí, claro. ¿Qué hora te va bien? Pablo answers, yes, of course. What time works for you? Marta contesta, puedo ir a las 6. Martha replies, I can go at 6. Quedamos en el café de la plaza. We'll meet at the cafe in the square. Pablo dice, perfecto, nos vemos allí. Pablo says, perfect, see you there. That story gives you a full social pattern. Invitation, agreement, time, place, closing. That's the whole machine. Here's a memory trick for the whole lesson. Think of making plans in Spanish as 4 building blocks. First, start the plan with quedar. ¿Quieres quedar? Or quedamos? Second, check the time with te va bien. ¿Qué hora te va bien? Third, use ir or venir for movement. ¿Puedo ir? ¿Quieres venir? Fourth, close with nos vemos. Nos vemos allí. Nos vemos mañana. So the pattern is quedar, te va bien, ir o venir, nos vemos. If that becomes automatic, you can handle a lot of everyday social Spanish. Let's do one last natural flow. How do you say do you want to meet on Friday in Spanish? ¿Quieres quedar el viernes? ¿Quieres quedar el viernes? How do you say what time works for you in Spanish? ¿Qué hora te va bien? ¿Qué hora te va bien? How do you say I can go at 7 in Spanish? Puedo ir a las 7. Puedo ir a las 7. How do you say let's meet at the park in Spanish? Quedamos en el parque. Quedamos en el parque. How do you say see you there in Spanish? Nos vemos allí. Nos vemos allí. Fantastic. That is real, usable Spanish. So let's recap. Today you learned how to make simple plans with other people in Spanish. Quedar helps you arrange the meetup. Ir and venir help you talk about going and coming. Ver appears in useful social phrases like ver una película and nos vemos. You also practice days, times, and meeting places naturally inside real conversations, not floating around like lonely calendar words. The key phrases to remember are ¿Quieres quedar mañana? ¿Qué hora te va bien? ¿Puedo ir a las 6? ¿Quieres venir? Quedamos en el café. Nos vemos allí. If you can say those comfortably, you can already make a plan, change a plan, or confirm a plan in Spanish. That's a big win. Keep listening for these chunks and repeat them out loud when you can. Walking, driving, making coffee, pretending you are very socially busy in Spanish. Even if your weekend plans are just you and a sandwich, now you can arrange them beautifully. Nos vemos pronto.